Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to all you fine folks out there. I hope you guys are all having it. Whoops, I just lost the little cover to my earbud there. Seems to keep popping off. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic week. I hope your week has been really good. It's been really productive, etc., etc. Let's see here. All right. We're going to be getting started here in just a second. Somebody just pinged me. Oh, it's Justin saying that he's ready. How about that? How about that? The old boy's ready. Let's see. Oh, I got to send him the the Zoom link. Hang on, folks. Just getting a couple of final things here set. Copy the URL. And let me paste it over to him. All right, guys. I'll get him moved over to the appropriate window. All right. And there he is. Beautiful.
I am here. Let me make sure my webcam setting is good. My computer rebooted.
It did.
Came in I came in and it was like it had auto logged me in. By the way, you should never do.
Yeah, I know.
But mine does. It auto logged me in and I had to open everything back up. It's crazy. And Zoom switched over to you again. That's so frustrating.
Yeah, I know. It just tried to log me out. Isn't that funny?
And all I had to do is say switch to Google account and it works.
Yep.
It's just wild. All right, throw me up on the screen. Let me see what it looks like for me, because I know Zoom is not an accurate picture.
All right, just a second.
My Zoom preview does not show what I actually look like. And as people are pouring in, welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you're watching the replay. Looks like, Dave, did you get a haircut?
I did get a haircut.
I got a haircut too. Looks like we both got haircuts.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we're a couple of good-looking dudes. There's no two ways about it.
Super bright. I am super bright. Let's darken that up.
There you go. Oh, there you go. You just went really dark on us.
I went really dark?
Yeah, you went a little too dark.
Okay, let's try this one.
Let's see. I'll make.
Ciao. How's that one?
Now you look embarrassed.
Embarrassed? Oh, it's too red?
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay. You know, it's one of those things where I accidentally bumped my camera.
There you go.
My light, and it's all wonky.
There you go. You look good there.
Okay, that one's good. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. This is crazy. All right, I'm good.
Cool. Well, first off,
I am ready.
Let's welcome everybody. We're doing the live taping of the Church Media Guys show. I'm Dave. Let's see, that guy right there. So you have to do it like this. That guy right there is Justin. He's my partner. He's my business partner. He's the I guess he's the number 2 guy, or the number 1.5 guy for Church Training Academy. We're doing a live taping of our show. That's what our live show is. You guys are our studio audience, and so we want you guys to say hi. Everybody, get to know each other in the comments there in the chat room. Be nice, obviously. We don't want anybody being rude out there, especially if Justin and I are really messing something up. We know. You don't have to tell us. We know. We're gonna get started here in just a second. Let's see here. All right, so our pro tip, and okay, and you'll after I do the pro tip, you'll comment on it for a second, then you'll move to the free resource.
Yep.
And then we'll jump into our feature presentation. Yeah, you know what? Ever since I updated to High Sierra, man, I'm getting the goofy frame rate. The frame rate's at about 17.5 to 18 for the live stream.
I'm just now checking the YouTube. It's good. It's like when you get fish and it's a little too fishy, and the waiter comes by and like, "Hey, how's your fish?" And you're like, "It's good.
It's good.
It's good."
I'm paying.
Your voice goes up.
Yeah, I'm paying for this.
Hey, how was Jillian? Was she good for you, Grandma? She was good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Kind of
So
Reminds me of
how's
the.
the live stream on YouTube? It's good.
That's good. Seinfeld had a deal where he said, "So how's it going with? Let's see, what's your wife's name? Bridget."
Bridget.
Yeah. So it's like, so how are things going with Bridget? No, it's going all right. I say, up. You touched your face. What? Yep. You know, the higher you go up on the face, the thing is like, how's it going with Bridget? Pretty good. It's okay. I gotta get out. You know?
It's good.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm sorry about the frame rate. I got to figure this out. I think I'm going to have to come up with another solution or something. I don't know. I've got a freaking screaming machine here. Justin and I are going to practice on some stuff. I'm going to see if I can actually port you in from another computer. That's the route we're going to look at. Man, this is weird.
I can't, honestly, I can't tell too much of a difference.
Well,
on my end. And normally I can spot frame rate issues.
Yeah. Well,
pretty well.
I'm going to, last week it was weird. Last week after we did our deal with Jeanette, it was like okay for the rest of the show, and I couldn't figure out why. What is it that is? I mean, why all of a sudden things dialed in? I haven't rebooted since like yesterday or the day before, but I'm like at 15 frames a second, 23% CPU usage. I don't get it, but I've got something I want to try anyway. I actually want to like have you on my laptop and then port that in as a separate source and see if that would work. So we'll play with that maybe this weekend and see if we can get it. Regardless, I'm going to go ahead and record on here. Would you, let's see, it's kind of hard. Would you record? No, I need to record on this end. Well, go ahead and record on your end. But I need to record. Yeah, I need to record on this end because every time I talk, it just shows my logo because I'm not piping the video through.
Right.
And so I have to, when I'm editing it together, I have to make the, it's like I have to wait that extra few seconds to show me, and then when you show up on the recording, then show it to you. I wish I could just like record just the one. Anyway.
Okay, just in Zoom, give me permission to record.
Oops, I just started the recording, so I don't think I can now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, so I'm recording. Anyway,
okay,
we'll see how it goes. The recording that I'm doing here may be okay, but if it drops just really bad, then I've got these backups to go to. So
sounds good.
All right, here we go, guys. We're going to get started. Let me cut to the full screen there. All right, and I'm going to stop the music. Okay. We're all supposed to use... That didn't work.
Take two.
We know we're supposed to be using great photography on our websites, but the question is, what constitutes a good photograph? We're going to be talking about that today. There we go. And here we go with the thing. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Church Media Guy Show. My name is Dave Curley. And if we haven't met, I'm the founder of ChurchTrainingAcademy.com, which is a website and a community of folks like you and me who are learning how to use and exploit media and technology so that we can take the gospel beyond the walls of our church out into the world at large. With me, as always, is my fantastic co-host, Mr. Justin Nava. Hello, sir.
What's going on, Dave? What's going on, everyone? Glad to be here. Excited for today's show. And I'm excited to see Drew watching live. He said, get this, Dave. And Drew's one of our CTA insiders.
Yes, he is.
He said, howdy, guys. See, I can speak Texan. So
hey.
Howdy, Drew. Good to see you in here and watching live.
Yes, thanks, Drew. We're glad you're here. Drew is, oddly enough, unashamedly a Yankee. He's like a northern weirdo guy, and he tells people that. That's the weird part, but we love Drew. Glad you're here, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad he's here. And Drew is actually kind of the poster child for what we're talking about today because I wrote it in the email that goes out before the live show. Part of being a CTA insider means you get a free website audit. And one of the big things we told him was, hey, photos, let's make them better. And he is actually, so he surprised me. And this this is more on a bad reflection on me, because like the next time we had mastermind, he was like, hey, check out our website. And I looked at it, I'm like, hey man, this is some improvement. Like he actually did what we told him to, and it's turning things around. So I'm glad Drew's here, because he's kind of our poster child for what we're talking about today.
I like how you, I like how you said, I'm surprised he did it.
Which is what I said. It's a bad reflection on me, because I had low expectations.
Low expectations. We've learned to raise our expectations of our insiders, of our members.
Exactly.
Well, and that's you and I were talking about.
My bad.
Yeah, I know how. That's okay. Yeah, I've after working with us, you and me working together, I can understand how you would have lower expectations.
Heyo. Maybe that'll be our intro.
So why are we doing this episode today? We're doing this because you and I were talking about the photographs and stuff, and that seems to have been a theme over the last couple of sessions, private coaching sessions that we've had, or group coaching sessions, I should say, we've had with our insiders. If you guys don't know, when you join CTA, one of the things that you become an insider, but one of the things that we do every couple of weeks is we do a live group coaching call. Basically, all the members who are able to make the appointment get together on a Thursday night from 8 to 10 Central, and we just talk about whatever's going on, whatever any roadblocks they have, any successes that they've had. If everything's been going great for folks and no one has run into any problems that they need to overcome and stuff, then Justin and I just kind of pick a topic, or we ask them, what do you guys want to talk about? Well, let's talk, can you look at my website? Sure. So we look at their website and we talk about what can work out. And one of the things we've talked about the last couple of weeks has been the photos on the website. A couple of our newer members have been showing us their website and how can, the pastor told me I got to fix this. And so, we've been going over all these ideas for coming up with it, and we keep coming back to the photography and all that. So we thought we'd talk about that today. Before we get started on that, though, we're going to share a little tip with you, something that I've been using for a long time. It's called the Nik Collection. This is a line.
You're really going to love this. Or what is it? And now something you'll really love. Right? That was it?
Yes. Do you even know who Rocky and Bullwinkle are?
I do. I used to watch them for a brief time after school.
Okay, good. You guys that are watching the show, Rocky and Bullwinkle make Rocky makes his voice makes a little appearance in our stinger for the pro tip. Okay. So I think I'm going to jump over to a full screen here.
Yes, please do. My nose itches.
Okay. There you go. You can scratch your nose now. Oh, great. Now you made mine itch. Thank you. Sorry, you guys had to see that. If you've been using Photoshop for, as long as I have, you've become kind of a devotee of really good plugins. That's one of the things that I love about Photoshop and Adobe Premiere and Adobe Audition and Final Cut. Any of these heavy, high-end applications that allow us to create content. One of the things that they have done is they have made a infrastructure and a framework for people to make tools that work inside. They're called plugins. Okay, now I've been using Photoshop. Let's do some math here. This is 2018, and I started using Photoshop in 1994. Okay, so it was it was either 94 or spring of 95, but it was basically Photoshop version 4. Been using it for 24 years now, almost 25 years. And one of the plugins that I came across early on, and I don't remember exactly when it came out, but there's a company called Nik, N-I-K, and they created a suite of plugins that just kind of became like the standard part of my toolbox. Here's a perfect example. If you ever try to make something black and white, okay, so you've got a photo and you want to make it black and white and you're using Photoshop. The beginner, the person who is just now learning the tools and stuff will say, okay, let's just remove the saturation. Okay, you take the saturation out, that takes out all the color saturation, and you're left with a grayscale image. However, that's not really a black and white photo. Okay, so if I were using black and white film in my, like when I learned how to do photography back in high school, when I was, shooting for the yearbook and shooting for the school paper and all that, I was using black and white film. It had a certain look. As I developed it, it had certain things. Okay, so taking away just the saturation doesn't necessarily make a black and white photo, okay? There's all kinds of things that are not happening with the film you're using, right? The black and white film. All sorts of things that happen in color that don't happen in black and white. So if you want to do it properly, there's a series of steps you have to do. What the Nik people did is they came up with a plugin. They called it Silver Effects. And what it is a way to apply different types of photographic processes for like black and white. Certain things where it's got it has a higher luminance level, or you lower the luminance level, or whatever the magic is that does that. But they make them look fantastic. Well, I've been using these plugins for a long, long time. At some point, I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe, Google bought them and started making these things a part of like the Google Photos app that's, on your browser or on your phone or whatever. In fact, if you go and edit a photo in Google Photos and like hit the little slider, and then you can like up the brightness and up the contrast and the structure and all that kind of stuff, you're actually using like the core tools that are a part of the Nik collection. In fact, they actually had like the Nik plugin collection in there, and then they just sort of took the guts and worked it into the actual Photos app. But they still own the Nik collection, and you can still download it, and they've made it free. It's a free plugin that has a very large list of tools, okay? And when you install it, you're going to get a whole bunch of different things. Nik Silver Effects, Nik Color Effects Pro. Inside Color Effects Pro, you got a bunch of tools inside that you can like start stacking. And I'm going to show you guys how to use all this. I just want you to know about it now. It's the Nik plugin collection, the Nik collection. Just go to Google. It's like google.com/Nik collection, I think, N-I-K. Anyway, there'll be a link in here. But I'm going to do a pro tip. I'm going to show you guys how to get it installed. There's actually, if you're using Sierra or High Sierra on your Mac, you're going to, the first time you try to do something, it's going to crash on you. Everybody that has upgraded has been like, why is it crashing? Can we not use it anymore? There's a little setting that you got to change. I'm going to show you guys that in the pro tip as well, so that it doesn't crash. It's really a small deal, but the results you get, guys, it is how you can take a photograph that's okay and turn it into a photograph that's wow. I mean, you aren't going to believe what can be done. I'm going to show you a couple of things. In fact, I'm going to put together a little video that you guys can download that is basically some of the things that I've done in the past where I've had a photo that's like really low resolution and turned it into a photo that could actually be used, on a website or in a video or something, that kind of started out kind of, and because I filtered it and did some stuff to it, turned out to be woo. So anyway, you guys are going to love it. It's the Nik collection. Hey, Justin, are you like a plugin guy with Photoshop? Do you use plugins?
I am not, and I know I should be. I'm a very vanilla guy. My favorite Android phone was the Nexus because it didn't have anything but Android, and I like that. And so I don't have any plugins or effects or anything added other than what comes with Photoshop, Premiere, Final Cut, any of those things. And there are times when I'm like doing stuff and I do some research on Google and they're like, oh yeah, just buy this plugin. You know what my first thought is? I guess I'm not going to do that. And so I find a different way to do it. But this one, when you described it to me, when I was finding a good title for it,
Mm-hmm.
I asked you this morning, I was like, hey, does this make it easier or does this just add a bunch of stuff? And you were like, it's both.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, I like that. Let me get on board with that. So I don't use plugins, but these will be the first ones that I use. And I'm very excited that you're going to provide all the extra resources with that, because I am the kind of person that needs that help.
Yeah. I am really, I'll show you guys an example in the video. I was doing the announcements for our church this weekend, and it's Mother's Day. So, for like, I don't know, 20 seconds, I'm talking about mothers and how wonderful they are and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm showing off a picture of my mother. Well, there's, oddly enough, in the millions of pictures I have, there's not like a picture of me and mom, just kind of, cheek to cheek being silly or something. It's always with dad or with Julie or something, So I was like, okay, I got to find a photo. Well, I found one on my mom's Facebook profile of her that I looked at, and I was like, it's kind of low resolution and kind of, and I ran it through and did a few things to it like that, and it looks amazing. So you guys are going to get to see that. It's It's cool. I think you, Justin, are going to be installing it this weekend and start playing with it because you already have great photos on y'all's church's website and stuff, dude. You guys you're going to kick it up to the next level using the stuff that you already have.
I am ready. I'm excited because I need all the help I can get.
Good. Well, and I hope it's useful to everybody out there and stuff. And if you are using it, if you're in the chat room live as we're taping this right now, let us know that you're using it. Tell us which tool it is that out of that set that you guys like so much. Okay, go for it, Justin. I'm going to cut to a full screen of you.
So one of the things I'm excited to use the plugin for, the Nick Collection plugin, is actually to improve the photos for my own church's website. A lot of the photos we don't have the originals anymore because they were uploaded to Facebook and then they were just deleted. So I'm working with Facebook's already compressed, slightly less quality images. And I'm excited for what Dave's gonna show me in the Nick Collection because I need to make my photos better because, as we're going to talk about today, photos are a huge part of the website, but they're not the only thing. There are actually 7 church website essentials that you need to attract new guests to your church. And I've compiled these all together. I've scanned hundreds of websites and kind of taken out the best ones, and I've kind of cross-checked them all, and there's 7 commonalities across every one. And I've put them all together in a guide for you. It's called the 7 Church Website Essentials. You can get it at betterchurchwebsite.com because here's something I hate hearing. I hate it when people call me or email me and say, hey, websites don't work. We're paying $50 a month or $400 a year for this website, and it does nothing for me. And I've been in your shoes. I've sat there. When I came on staff at my church, we were paying $99 for a website that was basically just a house of flash animations. It sucked. And I hope you don't mind. I said
how'd you really feel?
And it was $99. It sucked for $99. Maybe if it was $1, I would have been okay with it. But man, we were paying a lot of money for this website to do nothing. It was a liability. And when I was learning everything about how to make a good website, these 7 church website essentials were part of that journey. And if you have a website that is a liability, if every time the bill comes in and you're just like, oh, I got to pay for this again, why am I still paying for it? Or when the annual renewal comes up and you're just like, really, I'm paying for nothing. This is for you. These 7 church website essentials will help you take your website from a liability to an asset because it will show you what actually attracts visitors to your church. Now, this isn't a WordPress guide. This isn't a Squarespace guide. This is a design guide. So this works for everyone, no matter your expertise, your experience, or your skill set, or what platform you're using. So go to betterchurchwebsite.com. Again, that's betterchurchwebsite.com and download the guide there. You can get it for free, by the way. You can get it for free and start changing your website from a liability to an asset. betterchurchwebsite.com. Now on to our feature presentation.
Wow. Yeah, it's like a little infomercial there. But wait, there's more. Hey, before we move.
Wait, there's more. You can get some steak knives too.
That's right.
Just send me your receipt and just pay the shipping and handling. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. We have a warehouse full of bamboo steamers ready to go for you. The more I talk, the more my nose itches.
If you act now, we'll send you 2 guides.
2 guides. One for each hand. Hey, is there anything going on with anybody in the chat room? I have you up, so I can't see anything.
No, the chat room is sparse. Tom Pounder's doing Ask Adam live, so I'm assuming everyone's over there following his genius.
Yes,
they're talking about YouTube too. So we got not only church competing with church comms, we're competing with more church media. So
yes,
I'm gonna blame Tom for that one.
Nice.
Hashtag blame Tom Pounder.
Yes, we're gonna have to get on to Tom and tell him to completely revamp the way he does things to work around our shooting time.
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah, we're all sitting pretty over here.
Good deal. All right, so let's run our feature presentation thingamajig.
Yep, and we're gonna, as soon as we're done with this, I'm just gonna cut out.
Okay.
And then so you do the out. So just when I leave, that's just, you're good to do the outro.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So today we're talking about how did you put it? Church website photos you need to attract more guests. That's our title here. And I like how you put that, Justin, that photos you need to attract more guests. So you're saying basically that there is some stuff that you can put on your website that could be nice, that could be pretty, that could be, fine. Nothing wrong with it at all. But it would not necessarily attract a guest, or it could be detrimental, you think? Is that what you're saying?
It would be confusing.
Okay.
That's the number one thing. That's the number one thing I think. If you get nothing out of this, by all means, keep listening. But if you get nothing out of this, pretty pictures don't bring people into the church. So there has to be intention behind the pictures, and that's what we're talking about. And it's not so much that it's like ugly, like, oh, like look at these ugly pictures. It's that it's confusing. So what we're talking about today is church website photos you need to attract more guests. And the way it attracts guests is that it stops confusing them with whatever you're about, right? It actually has a purpose. And that's what we're talking about today, is avoiding confusion and using photos to attract more guests.
Okay, so let's talk about things to avoid first then, okay? We'll start with the negative, and then we'll move into the positive. So what is your top thing that needs to be avoided?
Yeah, I like starting with what to avoid, because we really want to make people feel bad before we give them the answer.
Yeah,
we're just going to push that in there. If you haven't noticed, that's kind of how I am. That's the marketer in me. I want to make sure that you understand that this is a problem before we need to fix it. So it's kind of like your roof's got a hole in it. Well, who cares? Once it starts raining, that's when you care. So let's rain on this broken roof a little bit. Number one, avoid using pictures that have nothing to do with you or your message. So when you're doing a church website, let's say down here in Texas or in the Rio Grande Valley, do not include snowy pictures in the background of your website. That's beautiful. The picture's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It looks great. It's high quality. There ain't no snow down here. It's snowed twice in the last 14 years or something like that down here. So that is not a normal thing. So when someone visits that website, they're kind of confused, like, why is there so much snow on this website? First of all, it's the valley. Second of all, it's summer. It's confusing. Get that out of there. Don't use pretty pictures of the Grand Canyon. I know it's beautiful. It's God's creation. That's great. If you don't live next to the Grand Canyon, it doesn't belong on your website. And then also don't include photos that, don't mix with your message. So that's great that you picture of. Don't put that picture on your senior ministry page. That's confusing especially when your senior's called Just Older Youth, and then you have pictures of other kids on there. Is this a senior ministry class, or is it old, like college kids? I don't understand. It's confusing. Make sure that you avoid using pictures that have nothing to do with your message or what's on your page, and make everything relative. Use pictures of your people. We'll get to that, and pictures of your area, so that you don't confuse anyone. Make everything, kind of one theme, one message, one brand. Dave, what do you got? What do you think churches need to avoid?
Well, one of that's good. I like how you put all that. And I was sitting there thinking, who would put a picture of the Grand Canyon? Well, if you live in Arizona, and it's Grand Canyon Baptist Church, then maybe that's a part of your logo. Maybe that's a part of it, especially, if you have like a sunrise service out there, then it's appropriate to put that gorgeous shot of the Grand Canyon and a sunrise or a sunset or something. But that makes sense. One of the things that I see a lot that I understand the idea behind, I don't like, because everyone does it, and that's stock photos. And when I say stock photos, I don't mean all of them. There's a time and a place for them. Okay, so understand that. Here's an example. If you put me in a white lab coat and give me a clipboard, and maybe have me do something like this, okay, I could be a doctor. Okay, so it's Dave the doctor. Hi, I'm Dave, your family proctologist, whatever. And the problem is that if you put me in a like a blue jumpsuit and you embroider Dave right here across the thing, and you give me a dirty clipboard, and you have me with a little bit of grease right here on my cheek, I'm now Dave, your mechanic. Okay, that's what the stock photography is. That's what they're doing. They're saying, okay, good looking middle-aged man, come over here. We're gonna have you taking some pictures. You're gonna have let's put a pair of scrubs on her. She's going to be a nurse like that, and y'all are gonna do that. But then you're gonna take that same woman and you're gonna put a cocktail dress on her, and you're gonna put that guy in a sport coat, and they are, having fun martinis after work. These are models and they're posing. That's all it is. Okay. Now, we always say stock photography and we think of that, obviously. Okay. Stock photography is not necessarily always going to be that. When is it appropriate? It's appropriate when it is maybe an object. Okay. So if you're not a good photographer and you don't know how to do lighting and stuff like that, it makes sense if you're going to be talking about a Bible study, or you're going to have you want an image of a Bible on your website as part of the background for the title or something like that. Makes complete sense to go find a really nice, picture of a Bible that somebody took. If you're talking about the podcast, it makes sense to have a picture of the Bible with an iPhone and a pair of earbuds laying on it. Okay. No problem. Go spend $10 for that image, or get it from one of the free stock sites like Pixabay or something. That's fine. That doesn't scream stock photography, okay? That screams nice photo. So that's okay. A picture of a really beautiful black man and a really beautiful white woman holding a beautiful mixed race baby that doesn't go to your church but is on your website says we're trying to be something that we're maybe not, and it screams that. Posed stock photography looks too perfect, okay? Your church isn't perfect, okay? The people in your church aren't perfect. Stock photography sends the wrong message, and there's a subliminal thing that happens when you see that, okay? And it's, these guys are cheapskates. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why it happens, but doing this for a long time. But one of the things I've heard people say is, oh man, it looks kind of like a cheap website template because it's got stock stuff on there that screams stock. So try to stay away from that. Have I been too harsh on that, Justin?
Actually, Dave, you were much more gentler than I thought you would be. I thought you were going to really rip into someone and call them lazy for using stock photos. And I'm so glad you didn't, because I think a lot of it is misguided.
Sure.
And I think what
I'll call them lazy when we're in the mastermind group. They're paying for that.
What I think it comes down to is churches trying to put their best foot forward.
Yes.
And they accidentally become posers.
Right.
I think that's how I compare it in my mind. It's like, you're not putting your foot forward. You're not putting your best foot forward. You're posing that you're someone else that you're not.
Right.
And so we need to make sure that we do put our best foot forward. We want to use good photos, but we don't want to use like photos from other people. We want to try to use our best photos. And that kind of takes me to number 3. And this is the last thing we're going to do. If you're feeling really bad about yourself, there's only a little bit more rain left. And here it is. Low quality image. Avoid low quality image. So if you have a picture of someone in worship and it's a fantastic picture, but it was taken 10 years ago on someone's camera phone at 1 megapixel, it doesn't look good anymore. It looks great on a phone. It doesn't look great on a big screen on a desktop or even on modern Retina displays. That needs to come off your website. Low quality photos are distracting, and they're kind of confusing because they might look old. If it looks like it was taken 10 years ago, my question is, first, is that person still alive, right? Like, 2, what's been going on since then? If I can tell your picture was from 10 years ago, or even older, if you got people with, what was popular? What haircut was popular 10 years? If you got people on your website that of, older 90s photos with people sporting the Rachel haircut, I'm going to question like what's been going on since then. So make sure that your photos are high quality. That means that you're going to have to take pictures with a newer phone. If someone's, and I've said this before, good old Miss Myra says, "Hey, I took this picture." And she shows me these pictures and they're just blurry and they don't look good. And she took them on her Note 1, the original Note. That's not the best camera in the world anymore, and it doesn't look great anymore. So I will take those pictures 100%, but I may not use them for the website to be our best foot forward. So make sure you have high quality images. If you need to retake pictures, go through with an actual camera, or if you can, I know it's a commitment, but bring in a photographer to use their camera and get high quality photos, because that is key. Low quality photos, they distract, They look bad. They're not your best foot forward. So avoid low quality photos and get some good ones. Dave, I think we've been enough of a downer. Let's turn it around and let's actually get to the title of the show, church website photos you need to attract more guests. So Dave, I want you to go first. Tell me, what is the number one thing people need or churches need when it comes to photos on their website?
I think they need photos of actual people that go to that church. Okay. Let's go back for a second to the stock couple that I was talking to you about. A really, really model quality black man and a really model quality, white woman, and the next Gerber baby, sitting in their arms, who is a beautiful mix of the two of them. That for the picture of the young families ministry, or the newly married ministry, or something like that. Having that with the signs, young families ministry. That may look absolutely fantastic and literally be the best banner and title background that you've ever made and ever seen on any website and stuff. But I can tell you, it's going to be a big problem if Justin and his lovely wife and his sweet little girl come there expecting to see that couple, and all they see is people in their 60s and two college people and a handful of high school people and a couple of those single people in their 40s that are single for a reason. And that's all they see there. You lied to them. You didn't mean to lie to them, but you lied to them. Okay? That is a subtle thing that happens that, again, this is all, a lot of the stuff that Justin talks about in the website course, a lot of stuff that we're talking about with the photography and all that is all subconscious stuff that plays in the back of people's heads when they see it, and then they take reality, and reality doesn't match what they saw on the website. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you, Justin?
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. It's we can spot these things now. We can spot them, and we know, or we see two stock photos from two different churches. Yeah, maybe they're Christian stock photos.
Right.
Yeah. Put two and two together and realize this isn't actually your church.
Right.
And then the question becomes, why aren't you showing me people of your church?
Right. Exactly.
What are you hiding?
There.
And so it's yeah.
You may have a mission, and it could be part of your thing that we are a culturally diverse church. We want people of all cultures. We want people of all colors and ethnic groups and all that sort of stuff. If you have one black guy in the church, or one black family, or one Asian middle-aged family and stuff, then they are the ones that need to be showing up in there, because if you put others there to give the impression that we've got, half of our church is, either Asian or black, and they walk in there and there's like one family. Okay, you've lied to them. Okay, so you want to get that point across, then you do stuff like you have these people in with two or three other couples or something like that. Subconsciously, it's going to be, wow, there's people, they'll take anybody. They'll take me. I can be comfortable there. Okay, as opposed to, hey, these I'm gonna be able to be in a black man's Bible study. I don't know if that's even a thing. But you go there and there's like one other guy. You know what I'm saying? You need to show. And Justin talked about low quality images, right? It would be better if you had a low quality image that accurately represented a person in your church. It's Mr. Smith holding one of the 4-year-olds and playing checkers, and it's slightly blurry and it's a little pixelated. I would much rather see that, and then go to the church and see Mr. Smith, and 2 rows in front of him is the family whose little 4-year-old is there, and during the howdy doody time and stuff, he runs up and gives Mr. Smith a hug. I would rather see that picture and then see the reality of that happening than to see anything else, a stock photo of somebody, a picture that is only the most dapper of people in your church, wearing suits and stuff. And I walk in wearing a suit, and we wanted our church to look good, so we had all the businessmen be in the pictures and stuff. And I'm walking in and I'm wearing shorts, or I'm wearing a suit and everybody's wearing shorts, that kind of thing. So it would be better to have a low quality, accurate picture than to have a really high quality lie.
Yeah, so I think there's a tier there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that. Number one, don't use stock photos. Use pictures of your people.
Right.
And two, use low quality, but don't stop there. Like, get a better picture of Mr. Smith.
Absolutely.
Later. Put him on there for now to get the website up, but you got to get a better picture there. So yeah, so stock photos is not a substitute for a low quality picture.
Right.
And then just
unless the quality is just so low and so ridiculous that it is going to do nothing but make everything else look horrendous.
Right. So
draw something.
That brings me to number two. I'm going to jump a little bit on our list here. Is number two, use pictures that actually back up your claims. So I don't care if you tell me how much mission work you do and how much you love the community and you want to see them there. If I don't see any of that on your website, again, you kind of lied to me. Like, I don't believe you. Okay. So if you tell me that you're mission focused and you're community minded, but all I see is pictures of worship service in your church auditorium, then I don't believe you. I think you're just all talk, because you can't show me anything that you've done in the community. You just gather on Sunday mornings because that's all your pictures say. So, pictures are worth 1,000 words. So if you have 7 pictures on your website, let's do a little bit of made up math here. If you have 7 pictures of your website of your church auditorium and you say, we're mission focused, I've basically read 7,000 words from your 7 photos that you just really meet on Sunday mornings and you don't really care about the community. I don't believe you. So back up your claims. If you say we welcome everyone needs to be on your website. Multicultural, young, old, single moms, married moms, families, grandma, grandpa, motorcycle guy, tattoo guy. Everyone needs to be on your website if you say you welcome everyone. Again, if you say we welcome everyone, but you just have a bunch of old white men on your church website, I don't believe you. So back up your claims. Use pictures to back up the claims. And this is tough, guys, because I have to be the bad guy sometimes when I work with churches, and they say, well, we welcome, everyone. We don't care if you have tattoos or not. And so I asked them, I said, can you get me a picture of the tattoo guy at your church? And they say, well, we don't really have any, or when they come, they don't come back. And so I have to tell them, Pastor, you need to re-examine your culture there. Because if you say you welcome everyone, but I come in there, I bring my mother-in-law and she doesn't feel comfortable in there, she's not welcomed. So so I know that's tough, and we got some plans to bring someone on to examine that relationship between what you say and what you do. But if you can't back up your claim, say something else. So maybe say we may have to cut that. So instead of saying you'll feel welcome here, just say we're a welcoming church. And then you can show pictures of people welcoming each other. So that's a little bit of a gentler way of saying that and opening that up. But you're not lying when saying you're welcome here when I don't think I'll feel welcome at all. So, back up your claims. And if you say something on your website, show it with a picture and I will double believe you. If not, I don't believe you. Back up your claims. Dave, take it away.
There we go. All right. Had to cut. Okay. That is just a partial part of our list. We've actually got a few more items listed there. So be sure you check out the blog post, churchtrainacademy.com/040. This is episode 40, by the way. And so you'll be able to see others there, as well as we'll put a link into our pro tip where we talk about the Nick collection and where you can get the Nick collection and all this kind of stuff. Guys, if y'all haven't, I don't even know how to roll into this, so hang on a sec here. I'm trying to roll into it. How do I segue into
Did I completely throw you off by saying I really just meant go to the next point?
Oh, no, you jumped down to the bottom, so I was like, well, he's got to get out of here, so I'm going to roll.
I was just flipping it around. Go ahead and do one more.
Okay.
And then that'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And then maybe do a bonus one in the blog post.
Okay, cool.
The other ones, I mean, any of these could be a whole show in themselves.
Right.
Yeah, let's have you do one more.
Okay.
And then you can do the outro. That way we give them as much as possible. And I'm
Gotcha.
on record saying, let's give them as much as possible.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching live. I think it's just Drew, but I'm glad even just to have Drew watching. I hope that makes a difference.
All right, let's see here, Dave. All right, so I'll do first person shots. All right. I think one other thing that we have, and this is our list is almost over here, but Justin had to leave, so I wanted to make sure that I give you guys at least one more. I think one other shot that you want to have is, or one other type of shot is pictures of the people can see themselves. That's kind of hard to articulate. I want to be able to look at a picture and imagine that's me. Does that make sense? So. If I'm looking to come to a church, I'm looking for a church that is family oriented, and where the family pastor has a deep focus on growing spiritually grounded families and stuff. I want to see a picture, or I need to see a picture of a mother and a father, or two or three families, with their kids playing, and the parents are standing at the coffee bar holding their Bibles or something. Something that you can see yourself in. And again, that kind of goes back to the not stock, to the relatable, real photos. Okay, so a kid on if the children's ministry is really something, and you guys have a wonderful playground that the kids get to play on during Vacation Bible School and during the little recess time during Sunday school or something like that, then I want to be able to see, not just a playground, and empty swings. I want to see swings with kids, and I want to see that shot of, the kid is swinging up, or here, I'll do this to you. The kid is swinging up, and you got the feet, and you got the, this look on their face, and you snap that picture and stuff. That's what I'm saying, because that could be my kid. That could be my 4-year-old. I don't have a 4-year-old, but Justin does. His 5-year-old. That could be his 5-year-old on there swinging and having a good time, and he can relate with that, going, they're great. And then you see 2 or 3 people in the background, loving teachers that are pushing them and stuff. I mean, you see what I'm saying? That sort of thing, things that are relatable. And that also goes into action shots, people doing stuff. That's another item on our list here, is action shots. People that are not just standing, not like greeting each other and they're shaking hands and they're looking at the camera, but shots of people giving a hug, shots of people helping each other, shots of people, if you got an older group of people in there and some of them have walkers and stuff like that, shots of some of the youth that are helping them to their car, or that are helping them in, that are carrying, the lady's bag and helping her sit down. Shots of the youth playing a game, Disciple Now weekend. All that kind of stuff. That shows vibrancy and life and action, and we're not a dead church, okay? There are a portion of society that picture church and want church to be an extremely regimented, liturgical, sitting in the pews and waiting and, peace be with you and, peace be with you and all this kind of stuff. Okay, that's fine. You can actually show all that on your website, by the way, and you can make it all relatable to people and say, this is the kind of church, extremely formal church that we have. That's wonderful. There's another part of society that says, I want people that I can worship with and that I identify with and that I want to basically spend my life with. These are the people that I want to be my community and stuff. Show all that, okay? Action shots, real people. Not stock photos unless it's of things that basically don't matter. And when I say things that don't matter, we need to show a picture of a Bible with an iPod sitting on it or with an iPhone sitting on it. Okay. You can either stage it yourself, or spend $10 on a stock photo doing it. That's okay. But not stock photos of people in action doing stuff like that. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I hope you guys understand what we're talking about. I want you to look at your church's website. If you're in charge of that, if you're not in charge with it, I want you to do a little audit yourself and make some notes and then sit down with the people that are in charge, with the creative team that is in charge of that and say, hey, how can I help you guys, make this more relatable and stuff? Show them this episode by all means. By the way, if you guys want to learn more stuff like this, if you want to learn more about making your websites effective, if you want to learn techniques for shooting, if you want to learn video techniques, if you want to learn how to do different types of videos, different types of photographs, how to live stream, all that sort of stuff, you guys need to become a CTA insider. You need to go to churchtrainingacademy.com/join. You can join today. You can have access to the training that we already have in there, and then continued access to all the new stuff that we're working on, all the new courses and all that. You also get to be in our CTA mastermind, right? That's part of our membership. That's a group coaching call that we do every 2 weeks. I mentioned it earlier in the episode. Every 2 weeks on Thursday nights, we get together with Justin and I and members, insiders, folks that are members of the Church Training Academy website. We get together and we work on stuff. We figure out problems. If somebody's, I got this. Drew's been in our live chat here for this session. Drew has been working on getting stuff live streaming at his church, getting it working. He's been hitting little roadblocks and stuff. And when we get together, we go over some stuff. We try a few different things. We take a look at this. We say, try that, try this, try that. And then he comes back like the next day in our private group and says, okay, I tried this and it didn't work. Now can I try? Okay. Oh, that works. That's the kind of stuff that we do. It's fantastic. You get access to not only Justin and I, who have strengths and expertise in certain areas, but you also get access to each other, which is really cool. I have been amazed at how someone will ask a question and someone else in there will start answering the question, and Justin and I kind of sit back and kind of don't want to get in the way because we've got one member helping another member. We've got community happening. We got people sharing knowledge. It's brilliant. It's wonderful. Anyway, go to churchtrainingacademy.com/join. You get that, plus you get a whole lot of other stuff. You get access to Justin and I. You get me doing a video audit for you. You get Justin doing a website audit. Guys, there's too much stuff to list out. Okay, so just go to churchtrainingacademy.com/join. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful to you. I want to see y'all's photographs, so please leave a comment below and show us your website, show us some of the photographs that you're using. If you have questions about that, by all means ask. Is it better to do this kind? Is it better to do this kind? How I want to do one like this. Justin and I are happy to show you guys how to do that. So please leave a comment. Thank you all for watching. Take everything that you've learned today and go out there and change lives. And that's the show. Okay, I have not been in the chat room, so I'm going to jump in the chat room for a second. If anybody's in there and has a question, wants to say hi, wants to do anything, that is great. I would love to do that. End meeting for all. And let's see, Petra Verbruggen. That is my friend from the Netherlands. Hello. Ramon is there. Hello, Ramon. How you doing, buddy? Best church speakers and mics is a good topic. Wow. Ramon, you're talking about for sound reinforcement in the room, right? That is a really good topic, and I'll preface it by saying all of it depends on what the room is like. So, if it's like a really small room, something that you'll put 100 people in, then you don't have a lot of space that needs to be reinforced, right? If it's a huge thing, then the 600, in a big auditorium, then you're talking like line arrays and all kinds of. I mean, that's a really good topic. I'm not sure how we could tackle that in an episode, but I've got friends that are in professional sound and stuff. I've got a friend that has been doing sound reinforcement for a long time, been doing church installations and stuff, installations on cruise ships and all that. I might tap him, see if he has like general guidelines or something that we could bring on. Thanks for bringing that up, Ramon. I appreciate that. Let's see. Petra is special greetings from the UK. Petra's in the UK. Awesome. I'm glad you're watching. Let's see. Andrew, of course. Awesome. All right. So that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you all for joining us as we've been doing this taping. And don't forget, we got a new episode coming out on Tuesday and a new pro tip coming out on Tuesday. That is which one was it? I'll tell you. That is the 5 tips for getting better quality out of the gear you already have. And that's going to be dropping. So be sure to grab that. And by the way, guys, go to ctapodcast.com and sign up for the podcast. Subscribe, on iTunes or, Google Play or wherever whichever poison does it for you. Anyway, y'all take care. Have a fantastic week.